think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
The comparison, listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
He tried. You catch him, he want to catch you back. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo reacted to Terence Crawford accepting Floyd Mayweather's fight offer by warning that Crawford would defeat Mayweather if they fought. He stated that Crawford is the superior fighter now and deserves full credit for his accomplishments. Canelo described Terence as amazing, praising his skill and timing. He added that Crawford has proven himself across multiple weight divisions and that both fans and experts should acknowledge his greatness.
We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move. And
Greg Hackett shared his thoughts on Canelo's comments about Terence Crawford, highlighting the contrast between Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather and Crawford's later victory over him. Hackett noted that when Canelo fought Mayweather at just 23, he was still developing as a fighter, lacking the experience and refinement he has today. In contrast, Crawford faced Canelo when he was already the face of boxing and one of its most skilled champions. According to Hackett, that context makes Crawford's win even more meaningful, as it came against a fully matured and peaked version of Canelo, unlike the younger, less polished fighter who lost to Mayweather.
I think is, when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying, I do give Bud his credit though for beating Canelo, and Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So that's why I'm saying it's tough to say.
Joe Rogan expressed his amazement at Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing that Crawford moved up 2 full weight classes at the age of 37, a feat rarely seen in boxing history. Rogan pointed out that no fighter at this stage of their career has ever challenged and defeated someone of Canelo's caliber, making the accomplishment truly historic. To him, it wasn't just a win but a defining moment that showcased Crawford's greatness and cemented his place as one of the most extraordinary athletes in the sport.
Towards the end, towards the final rounds, really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like, that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest,
undisputed greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something
special.
And
something really
30,
special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you.
Paulie Malignaggi weighed in on the ongoing debate over whether Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford is the greater fighter. He pointed out that such discussions will never have a clear conclusion, as each boxer represents a different era with unique challenges and circumstances. Malignaggi noted that while comparing them makes for an engaging topic among fans and analysts, it's ultimately endless since both have strong claims to greatness. He acknowledged Floyd's flawless record and legendary career while also praising Crawford's success across multiple weight divisions and his victories over elite opponents. For Malignaggi, the debate itself is what keeps boxing thrilling, even without a definitive answer.
154 pounders when it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even smell, may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47.
Timothy Bradley shared a bold opinion, suggesting that Terence Crawford has the tools to defeat Floyd Mayweather as well. Bradley explained that Crawford combines intelligence, adaptability, power, and technique in a way that could counter Floyd's defensive mastery. He argued that Crawford's mid-fight adjustments and precise timing would make him a serious problem for Mayweather, even in his prime. Bradley's comments reflected his deep respect for Crawford's abilities and his belief that the Omaha native deserves to be mentioned among the greatest boxers ever. To him, Crawford isn't just great, he has what it takes to surpass even the most untouchable fighters.
Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counter punches in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand. The way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too. Man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counter puncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep, I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits hard.
Some voices in the boxing world argue that for Crawford to surpass Mayweather's legacy, he must take on a monumental challenge against Dimitri Bivol. Bivol, known for his size, skill, and dominance at light heavyweight, presents the kind of test that could elevate Crawford's legacy even further. Critics suggest that a victory over Bivol would solidify Crawford as greater than Floyd, proving his ability to defeat a prime, larger, and technically elite opponent. They believe such a win would silence all doubts and establish Crawford as the ultimate figure in boxing history, achieving feats beyond even what Mayweather accomplished.
Next, since Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol on Floyd's?
Reports suggest that Terence Crawford is aiming to make history by becoming a 6th Division world champion, a feat accomplished by only a select few in boxing history. Already celebrated for conquering multiple weight classes and defeating elite opponents, Crawford's drive to climb even higher highlights his relentless desire to challenge himself at every level. The possibility of him competing at middleweight has sparked major excitement across the boxing world, as it would mean stepping into the 160-pound division against naturally bigger and stronger opponents.
And Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6th Division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight.
Adding further intrigue, Janibek Alimkhanili has stepped forward with a direct challenge to Crawford, daring him not to shy away from a middleweight showdown. Janibek, an undefeated champion with a rapidly rising reputation, views this as a chance to secure a career-defining fight against one of the greatest boxers of this era. For Crawford, accepting such a challenge would not only be a quest for legacy but also an opportunity to prove his dominance in yet another weight class. Whether this matchup comes to fruition or not, the possibility alone has fueled debate among fans and analysts, making Crawford's next move one of the most closely watched stories in boxing.
And became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160, that Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns, that's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO champion.
An analyst reflected on the story of Miguel "Silky Smooth" Gonzalez, the last man to defeat Terence Crawford back in the amateur ranks. He pointed out that beating Crawford today would demand extraordinary preparation and skill, much like what opponents faced when challenging Floyd Mayweather in his prime. The analyst emphasized that Crawford has evolved into one of the most complete fighters in the sport, blending defensive sharpness with offensive precision. Just as Mayweather's style frustrated rivals for years, Crawford now carries that same aura of invincibility. His ability to adapt, evade damage, and strike with pinpoint accuracy makes him the kind of fighter opponents must train tirelessly just to stand a chance against.
Beat Terence Crawford. What did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You got to bang the body with Crawford. You got to stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. As I remember, that's exactly what I did. Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. You know, he cut his height down, and you know, I stayed in his chest. You know, and you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, you know, maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think
because,
I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, you know, with Bud, I thought, you know, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah. And you know, Gamboa, you know, showed parts of that. You know, and Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you. Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, shared his perspective on the victory over Canelo Alvarez, describing the fight as easy for Crawford and crediting their thorough preparation for every possible scenario. Bomac also addressed the criticism surrounding Crawford's career choices, noting that fans and analysts are always suggesting opponents they think he should face. When Crawford doesn't take those fights, accusations of ducking often follow. However, Bomac dismissed such claims, insisting that Crawford is simply following his own path rather than catering to public expectations. He argued that Crawford's legacy should be defined not by outside opinions, but by the consistent success he has achieved inside the ring.
Okay, because he's the naturally bigger man, but someone like Crawford, obviously, who's done what he's done, you have to be on the top of your game. And I felt with Canelo, it was probably too many single shots that he was throwing, but he wasn't throwing the usual singles and backing it up because he was getting counted. And
he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, it wasn't just that Canelo was bad is what I'm trying to get at. Crawford was absolutely sensational on the night and the deserved winner and one of the best.
Because the other side of the argument would be that they actually thought they might be getting Crawford at the right time because he hadn't fought for a while and had some particular surgery. I mean, did it go, as I said to you at the top of the show, Bomac, I mean, I watched you in the corner and I thought it was a exercise in how a corner should be conducted in terms of the communication, the coherency of it, and the discipline behind who spoke, when they spoke, what they said, and what needed to be heard. Did the fight go exactly as you had mapped out in your mind and what you thought would manifest itself? Is this your last fight? You know, it's really annoyed me with Max Kellerman going in and making that the stop part of his questions. Do you think, Bomac, that he gets the recognition and the appreciation that his achievements merit?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of the simple fact that Terrence is his own man. You know, he knows the path that he wants to go. And some of the boxing critics or some of the boxing people around boxing figure he should go this route or he should go that route. When he didn't go that route and he went this route, he's ducking the other middleweights. I mean, the other welterweights. So he's ducking the 140-pounder. No, he's not ducking them. He's just not available. Well, he should have went this way.
Tony Jeffries joined the debate by reflecting on the unique qualities that made Floyd Mayweather untouchable in his era. He explained that Mayweather's brilliance extended beyond his defense. It was his footwork, timing, and ability to outmaneuver opponents that set him apart. According to Jeffries, Floyd's movement was nearly flawless, allowing him to frustrate even the best fighters. He also reminded fans that Mayweather faced and defeated a lineup of legends throughout his career, further cementing his greatness. Jeffries' remarks served as a reminder that while Crawford's achievements are remarkable, Mayweather's career remains one of the most decorated and technically exceptional in boxing history.
But if you study Floyd closely, like I have, you will notice that he never wastes any steps while he's in the ring. He will pivot just enough to take away the angle from the person in front of him, then he will reset in the center of the ring, and his movement and his footwork was just perfect. And it was his feet that made him control every single fight, putting him in the perfect position to defend punches, then that small little sidestep either way to put him into the position to be able to land punches back. And he would also use his front foot to apply pressure with them small little steps, waiting for that moment to land them punches. And if you train boxing, you should be constantly working on the specific footwork things that you need to work on, because you might agree with me, but without good feet, nothing.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.